When we first started talking, she looked me in the eyes and said, "I'm low maintenance." She said it with a smile, almost like it was a badge of honor, as if to reassure me that being with her would be easy, effortless, and drama-free. I remember thinking, wow, that's refreshing. In a world where everything seems to get more complicated, here was someone who claimed to be simple, easygoing, and undemanding. So naturally I thought, nice, I can afford this. I pictured us splitting bills at restaurants, going on casual coffee dates, and enjoying low-key picnics in the park. I imagined a relationship where we could just hang out, laugh, and not worry about grand gestures or expensive gifts. I thought low maintenance meant less pressure, less expectation, and more freedom to just be ourselves. But as time went on, I realized her definition of low maintenance was a little different from mine. It didn't mean she didn't want anything. It just meant she wanted things that didn't cost money, but did require effort. She wanted emotional validation, the kind where you really listen and respond thoughtfully, not just nod along. She wanted spontaneous flowers, not because they were expensive, but because they showed I was thinking of her. She wanted full text paragraph replies, not just quick okays or emojis, but real conversations that showed I cared. And then there were the morning forehead kisses, gentle, sincere, and filled with affection, like something out of a Disney movie. She wanted those moments to feel magical, genuine, and full of love. So, while she didn't ask for fancy dinners or designer gifts, her version of low maintenance was all about emotional investment, attention, and small, meaningful gestures.
Are you absolutely sure you don't want fries? I mean, I'm about to order and I know you said you weren't hungry, but you always say that. And then, somehow, my fries start disappearing. So, last chance, do you want your own fries? Or are you going to end up eating half of mine?
No, really, I'm fine. I don't want a whole order. I'll just have a few of yours. You always get so many and I just want a taste. It's not like I'm going to eat them all, just a couple, I promise. Besides, sharing is caring, right?
Fast forward to 10 minutes later. The fries are gone. Not a single golden stick left. She's sitting there looking completely satisfied, while I'm left staring at my empty plate, wondering how I lost every single fry. And then, as if nothing happened, she looks at me and says,
Wow, you're selfish. I can't believe you didn't order more fries. You know I like them and you just sat there and watched me eat the last one. Next time maybe think about someone other than yourself.
Later that night, we decided to watch a documentary about sharks. I thought it would be a relaxing way to end the evening, maybe even distract us from the great French fry debacle. But as soon as the music turned somber and the narrator started talking about the challenges sharks face in the wild, I noticed her eyes welling up with tears.
Why are you crying? The shark's fine. Look, it's swimming away. It's not even hurt. I don't get it. This is supposed to be educational, not a tearjerker. Are you sure you're okay? Is this about the fries? Because I promise, next time, I'll order 2 servings.
It's not about the shark. It's about the fish. The little fish that swam away and never got to say goodbye to his mom. It's just so sad. Sometimes I think about all the things we don't get to say, and it just hits me. And maybe, just maybe, I wish I'd ordered my own fries. I'm not dramatic.
Also, her sends 37 voice notes. Each one starts with,
You know what really hurts the most?
I think we should define the relationship.
Yeah, define how you're gonna disappoint me next.
and that's when I realized relationships aren't always as simple as we want them to be. Sometimes they come with more fine print than a new phone contract. You know that moment when you're sitting quietly, and it suddenly hits you? All those little rules, the unspoken expectations, the "if you do this, then I'll do that" clauses, they start to add up. It's like you're living in a world where every hug, every text, every late-night conversation has a hidden checkbox you didn't even know you were supposed to tick. I was in a relationship with a full-blown terms and conditions document, not just a few bullet points, but pages and pages of requirements, disclaimers, and maybe subject to change without notice warnings. There were emotional liabilities, trust agreements, and even a privacy policy, except instead of protecting my data, it was about protecting my heart. I found myself wondering, did I really read all the terms before I signed up for this? Or did I just scroll to the bottom and hit accept? Because I was too excited, too hopeful, or maybe just too scared to ask questions. But I clicked accept without reading. I jumped in headfirst. thinking love was all about trust and spontaneity. I ignored the warning signs, the subtle hints, the "are you sure you want to continue?" pop-ups. I thought, how complicated could it be? Turns out, a lot more complicated than I ever imagined. I didn't realize that every skipped detail, every unchecked box would come back as a pop quiz later on. And when the emotional software update arrived, I was completely unprepared. Now I'm in emotional debt. I owe apologies for things I didn't even know were wrong. I'm paying interest on misunderstandings that could have been avoided if I'd just read the manual. Sometimes it feels like I'm trying to keep up with late fees on feelings or negotiating payment plans for trust. The emotional bank keeps sending me reminders. Your balance is overdue, and all I can do is wonder if I'll ever be paid up, or if I'll just keep rolling over the balance month after month. If you've ever accepted all cookies in a relationship, if you've ever said yes to everything just to keep the peace, or agreed to terms you didn't fully understand because you didn't want to lose someone, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe you've laughed it off, shared a meme, or vented to a friend about how love sometimes feels like a never-ending user agreement. But deep down, you know it's true. We all want connection, but sometimes we forget to read the details that matter most. So if you've ever found yourself lost in the fine print of love, hit like, smash subscribe, and share this with your emotionally unavailable soulmate. Let's build a community where we can laugh about our emotional contracts, support each other through the confusing clauses, and maybe, just maybe, learn to read the terms before we sign up next time. Because we're all in this together, navigating the legalese of the heart. Because love is free. Until you get the invoice. And when it comes, let's hope we've at least read the summary. Thanks for watching. And remember, always check the box for self-respect before you click accept.